I know a lot about the world. That's the first time I've had that intro. Welcome, everyone. Good morning. Hope you're excited to be here for MediaPost's 49th, 47th, what did you say, 47th? Email Insider Summit. I hope you all had very safe travel coming in, really great cocktail party last night, and hopefully a good 8 hours of sleep as we get ready to gear up and have some good content ahead of us. Now, I'm not really an icebreaker type of guy, but I thought maybe this morning we could get a little bit of a sense of the folks around you, and so just very quickly, please humor me. If you could raise your hand if you or a loved one has been personally victimized by the iOS 18 update, just please, if I could see no one. Oh, one, two, a few. Okay, see, look around you. These are your peers, kindred spirits. You are now in a safe space to talk about these things. I'm pumped to be here. Email has a very special place in my heart. As John mentioned, before MediaPost, I was at Inspire Brands, where at Arby's, I ran all of the owned and outbound marketing channels. And so I can imagine and empathize with the pain that you all are going through. And not just with this iOS update, having to explain to your leadership team why a software upgrade might be tanking your performance and that a lot of it is out of your control, but with the broader education that you constantly have to do with these channels because they're complex, they're intricate, they're nuanced. You're probably sick of having to re-explain that open rates really aren't a valid metric anymore. And if we're being real, probably having to remind yourself of that as well from time to time. But while there's so much complexity in this space, there is also this really beautiful, earnest simplicity. And the simplicity is this: no other channel resonates as sincerely with your customers as email, text, app notifications. Now, I'm going to tell you all a quick little secret. John, cover your ears. Some of the time, probably most of the time, I really, really hate coming across marketing in my personal life. Now, some of you may feel the same way because when you come across it, you start to recognize a few things. You notice the targeting. You get a sense for the tactics, why you're seeing this ad on your screen and how it connected back to behavior you did in the previous day searching for whatever you were searching. And it starts to feel like your work brain is switching on and it's the weekend and I really don't like that vibe. But I think the exception is our owned channels, because I asked for it. I invited the brand in. I sought out that content. There's an intimacy there, and I love seeing the tailoring and the thoughtfulness that brands put into those campaigns. Product recommendations of direct or adjacent categories, early access and being the first to know about something because I subscribed, offers that build the basket off of what I already like. And look, there's a reason that everyone clamors for those end-of-year recaps. It's because only the brands can give that recognition and insight into my own behavior, and it creates a much more fruitful experience. But here's the challenge. Even with all those cards stacked in your favor, even with customers raising their hand and saying, "Tell me more about you and tell me frequently," the problem is everyone else is doing it too. It's so easy to stand up a program these days, to do a weekly newsletter, to do an SMS fast blast, to nudge with a push. And so it begs the question, when everyone, even your local bodega, has an email program, heck, even a loyalty program, how do you stand out? How do you keep your subscribers engaged so that they're seeking out your messages even when they're buried? What are the tailored elements that build that affinity to keep your customers and then to win them back when they take a break? How do we best leverage our tools, our partners, and our first-party data to enable that experience, but then also, more importantly, to drive a specific action? And so that's the core of the summit. Over the next couple days, we're going to talk about how you break through, how you cut through the noise and ensure that your campaigns reach customers in a meaningful way. So let's get into it. Now, as a reminder, everything we say on stage is recorded and on the record. A core element of what we do here at MediaPost is, well, journalism. It's providing a platform to share and amplify the great work that you all are doing. But it's also the off-the-record conversations where some of the most meaningful dialogue will happen. And so at noon, John gets up with the scissors, he cuts the camera, we have to buy new cords, but those are the off-the-record roundtables where we can really dive in deeper to some of the conversations that you heard on stage. All right, so what's in store for today? You're going to hear from a panel of experts all about how to navigate personalization. They'll talk to us about how to effectively leverage your data across channels and to test your way into the best performing tactics. You're going to hear from Ministry of Supply's CEO, Aman Advani, on how they made the decision to defy the consolidation trend by actually scaling out their partner mix in a recent overhaul of their CRM tech stack. You're going to also hear from another panel of experts on how to align your owned channels, how to take email, app, SMS, and unify them into a cohesive customer experience. But first, as you finish your coffee and you settle in, there's a foundation we have to address, because if we're going to spend all this time this week talking about how to personalize, craft content, and show up big for your customers, well, first you kind of actually have to literally show up. We're talking about deliverability. How do we ensure that our messages actually reach the inbox? How do we manage and unify our tech stack to enable it? Well, here to share that insight and the story of their own journey towards better deliverability, it's my great pleasure to welcome to the stage our opening keynote, Head of Email Strategy and Governance at Wells Fargo, Joyce Poole. Welcome, Joyce.